Hello and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings and Always. A new day is soon upon us. We're still in the midst of the Step 3 prologue. We're learning all about adulthood and growing up and what happens in the summer between graduation and the rest of our lives, right? Our life. Rest of our life, excuse me. The next morning, your belly was full of breakfast and you were in a pleasant mood. You hope the rest of the day follows suit. Now, I'm actually doing this in the evening, not in the morning, so irony here. I'm not really irony, just whatever, dumb. Hope you're all doing good today and having a good one. This one's exciting. I'm excited. Later, you were meeting up with your friends, Cove, Miranda, and Terry to go into town. It was all on short notice, but that was because everyone was just so excited that Cove was finally back home. Having a nice daydream? Duh. You blinked, pushing all your thoughts away, returning to reality. Your mom was watching you with a teasing smile. They know what they've got here. This is like jump scare mom.
Alright.
So what's on the agenda today? This is like the mom is right there in front of you. It's like, yeah, FNAF jump scare noises. 5 nights at Marinas. 5 nights at Coves. I'm meeting up with some people. Well, I hope you and your friends have fun. Don't get into too much trouble. She winked at you. You know both your moms wanted you to enjoy every bit of this summer before all the big changes started. I'll try.
That'd be great.
But before you go gallivanting around town, could you bring the mail in? I'm finishing up putting the dishes away over here. Alright. Thanks very much. As soon as you were outside your front door, you couldn't help but see Cove and his dad standing around the road. They noticed you too. There we go. There's Clifford Holden, age whatever. He's probably about 40, maybe a little bit older. That's what I thought. Like, my thought was that they had Cove when they were probably in their 20s, right? Their early 20s. Because we'll learn more about the origins of Cove and about their relationship. So I'm guessing that, he was, let's say, 25 at the very oldest would put him at about 38. No, 43 right now. So early 40s for Cliff. Which I guess makes sense. Yeah, I could see that, actually. Yeah, maybe I'm the one that underestimated their ages. Anyway, this is kind of crazy. I'm still taking a while to get used to this. As soon as they noticed you too.
Hey.
Hey there, Marina. Hi, good timing. You should come join us. You waved at him, you hugged him, you gave him a high five, you gave him a noogie, you ruffled his hair. Yeah, noogie. You gave him a high five. Trying to stifle a grin, you leaned in and raised your hand. Cove slapped your hand back, clearly amused. We're high five people. We've always been high five people. You noticed Mr. Holden was taking in the scene of you and Cove with a self-satisfied smile. Cove followed your line of sight and shot his dad an unimpressed look. Yeah, thanks for your $20 bill. For a moment, Mr. Holden seemed like he had a thought of dancing at the tip of his tongue, but he decided to keep it to himself. Yeah, boy, you wouldn't be friends if it weren't for me. I like his star print here. Freaking Cliff. Why is he still Mr. Holden?
So,
What are you up to today? Can we not be more familiar with him than Mr. Holden or Cove's dad? Me and Cove are meeting some friends later. We're going to paint the town red. Exciting. They won't know what hit him. Cove shook his head disapprovingly, but you know him well enough to tell that he was entertained by your notion. Yawning, Mr. Holden stretched his arms over his head. My boy and I have just been waiting around to see what the new neighbors are like. It was definitely his idea. I don't know how you're not interested in this. It's big news. Besides, it'd only be polite to greet the new folks in town. Maybe I'll be a single dad and his son. You've been here too long to see a new person rent a con. You've been here too long if seeing a new person rent a condo is what you consider an exciting development. Yes, I'm dying to see newcomers. Your response was just a shrug. I don't want to meet him. Well, anyone has to be better than the last tense. Maybe he'll be a single dad and his son. Cove snorted some airy laughter at the suggestion.
oh?
You think we'll have some competition? For several moments, Mr. Holden was unable to answer. He was still chuckling when he put his hands on his hips and tried to compose himself. Nah, absolutely not. We're the #1 father-son duo in this town, and no one's changing that. Wouldn't that be funny? Mr. Holden took one more glance at the currently vacant building and sighed dramatically. When he turned back to you and Cove, his whole body seemed deflated. There's no sign of them. I still need to head over to work soon. Cove gave his dad a few reassuring pats in the back. Okay, I promise to keep an eye out. I can text you if anything happens. Really?
Of course.
I mean, I only have to meet up with Terry and Miranda. Would it still work? Only until I have to meet up with Terry and Miranda. Would it still work? With a wide grin breaking out his face, Mr. Holden looked absolutely thrilled to have his nosiness enabled. That works. He's becoming this kind of person. Maybe he always was, I don't know. He moved to firmly place both hands over Cove's shoulders, fixing his child with a firm stare. Son, you are my true ally in this world. Mr. Holden stood up straighter, letting Cove go. He looked reinvigorated. Does he have other friends besides, like, Gregorio, Suarez? And even then, like, we clearly don't ever see them anymore. Maybe they still work together, right? I don't think they moved away. I think Derek's just too busy to hang out. Okay, with that settled, I'll go make some money. That's always been the one thing I do best. Yeah, sure is, Cliff. Mr. Holden headed off to the garage with a big wave goodbye. Cove smiled the whole time you both watched his dad leave. You really liked Mr. Holden. Mr. Holden's one of your favorite people. Cove's dad was kind of a bother. He had mixed feelings. Mr. Holden was one of your favorite people. We've established this. He always tried his best and was honestly just great. We established that she thought of him as just 13 as like her dad that she never had. We talked about that in the Derek moment. And she still feels that way. As soon as he was out of sight, Cove sighed lightly. They're basically family. She has a dad, like, right, basically, and a brother. That's the way she sees this. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Just not looking forward to waiting. Guess I'll be hanging around the street a while. Good luck. See you later. Bye. I'll stick around to see the new neighbor. I can't wait. I can wait with you. Why don't I stay to see the new neighbor and keep you company? Ah, yeah. Curiosity about the new tenant was getting the better of you, and you figured the wait wouldn't be too much longer. And besides, you just couldn't leave Cove. Yeah. I mean, I wonder what would happen if we just left. If we honestly don't meet this person. Because this is too important for that, right? Really? Of course. I like keeping you company, remember? He stared at you a moment, smiling softly and thinking about his response.
Me too.
Cove put his hands on your shoulders, gripping you solidly, but not enough to hurt. His eyes fixated on you just as firmly. He was serious. Cove just gets super emotional and serious about the weirdest stuff, man. Like, oh my god, you're gonna wait with me on the road? To see who moves into the new condo? I can't believe it. Marina, you are my true ally in this world. Oh, I got a fair amount of chuckles from you. Oh my god, he was doing a pun, an impression of his dad. He chuckles from you, he grinned, the stoicism fading into amusement.
Thank you.
You're always good to me. You're lucky to have me. It's no problem. I can't help myself. You're lucky to have me. Teasingly, Cove raised an eyebrow. You're the most lucky guy in all of Sunset Bird. Luckiest. For a moment, you weren't sure if Cove was laughing at your declaration or if they momentarily forgot the word luckiest. Either way, you didn't mind. Yeah, I guess. Most lucky guy it doesn't matter how you say it. Like, it's not like a, I don't know. And then he let go of you. Cove stepped over to his front porch steps lazily, taking a seat and leaning back on his arms. Our watch begins. Nodding in agreement, you joined Cove on the front porch steps. Remember, Marina's all about that investigation life. She would be a detective if she could. When she was 13, especially. You joined Cove on the front porch steps. You both sat there, nodding in a comfortable familiarity as you settled in for the waiting game of a new tenant's. The neighborhood was quiet and you sighed contentedly, closing your eyes and feeling the light breeze. Eventually, you both perked up at the sound of a car. A taxi followed the noise, turning onto your street. Cove raised an eyebrow at that sight, and he sat up straight on the stoop. Straight up on the stoop. Here we go. Oh boy.
Oh?
That has to be them, right? The only people who come out here live here. It has to be. Now that they were here, you couldn't help but feel just a bit curious. You wonder what kind of person would be living in the neighborhood for the summer. The taxi pulled to a stop as you expected in front of the now empty condo. It was on the same side of the street as your house, but a few buildings further up. Yeah, it's not someone neither of us is going to care that much about, Cove. Don't get too excited. Without getting to his feet, Cove tried leaning and tilting his head to get a view of the passenger door as it opens. The single occupant exited the cab. Huh? You could feel what Cove was in that moment. After the last renters, this new visitor was definitely not who you expected. This is going to be an interesting scene to see what happens here. Da-da-da-da-da! Baxter cometh. Oh god, Baxter. I've been waiting for you. So, in case you don't recognize him, for those of you who don't know, remember that party we crashed with Derek at the soiree? Attendee that we met? I kept going on. It's Baxter. It's him. It's our mysterious dancer friend. See if he remembers us. It was a young man, had to be close to your own age. He was dressed fully in an eclectic black and white and gray outfit. Even his side-swooping hair matched the scheme. The only other pop of color was from something that couldn't easily be fashioned into submission, a pair of dark brown eyes, which you caught when he looked over his audience. He's got my eye color. I hate you, Baxter. Hello, folks. Who might you be?
We're the neighbors.
The smile already prominent in his face curled further. Okay, that's better. It was cocky, but you didn't get the impression it meant something adverse. Hallelujah. You and Cove shared a familiar look at one another, bewildered even further. The color-coordinated man left it there. However, and with a firm click, he shut the door of his ride, then he turned his back to you to retrieve a large, unsurprisingly black suitcase out of the trunk. Continuing with his own business, he strolled forward and lightly tapped on the driver's side window with his knuckles, asking for them to roll it down. When it opened, he leaned down and rested his arm on the edge. You assumed he was thanking the driver for getting there, considering they slipped him a tip during the brief chat. They shook hands, and then he pushed himself up and away from the taxi with both arms, giving the driver room to leave. The taxi pulled away, rolling carefully down the road and out of sight around a corner. The new renter had officially arrived. He left his suitcase in the ground, out of the way for the street, and sauntered over your way with the confidence of someone who had been invited to join. This is Baxter. He's our potential third romance interest for the game that we're not going to be bothering with much. You'll see why. I'll talk a little bit more about it later. If you want to see this, though, the DLCs for this game are like less than $5 each, and the rest of the game is free, so you can meet Baxter more yourself. Feel free to play this. Cole finally stood up to greet this person. You followed suit.
Excellent.
I'm Baxter Ward. It's excellent to meet you, neighbors. Wow. That sounded like European. I'm interested to hear more of the voice he has. There's a difference between watching someone play this and playing it for yourself. You're probably not hearing the voices that clearly through my thing. But they come through way different in person. You hear all the little inflections in his voice there. You were standing off on the side, and he was approaching from. When Baxter got close enough, he offered his hand to you first. You shook it. You offered to low five him. You held your arms open for a hug and said you kept it. You offered to low five him. This is the kind of whoa, what? No. Baxter made it work and twisted his hand to oblige your greeting of choice. Welcome to Sunset Bird, Baxter. I'm Marina. Hey, Marina. I'm quite keen on getting to know you better this summer. We could be good friends. This is a lie. I just realized this. You'll see why. He does not want to be good friends with anybody. Why would you open with that? You know what you're doing. From your other side, Cove made a sarcastically amused scoff. And you are. He lifted his hand up to Cove next. Cove shook his hand, still eyeing Baxter carefully. I'm Cove. Baxter's whole demeanor lit up for unknown reasons, his eyes shone as he studied Cove a moment.
Really?
No, wait, is that a nickname or your real name? It's just my name. Cove spoke mildly, having given an explanation many times in the past, but it clearly charmed Baxter all the same. He tossed his head to one side with a laugh. Your parents knew exactly what they were doing. I can't imagine a more fitting name for the face I'm seeing. Cove. That's gorgeous.
What?
It's really not. No, I agree it suits you. Hey, only I get to fluster him. That's a lot. That's a lot considering you're talking to a stranger, Baxter. He didn't know what to say. Ooh. This is the thing here now. We kind of bristly. That's a lot considering you're talking to a stranger, Baxter.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't intended to mean more than it did. I like your name, but you don't have to mind that. He's affable, I'll tell you that. He's not. You can't fluster Baxter Alexander Ward. Oh, sorry, wasn't supposed to tell you that. I'm probably gonna title the video that. Cove gave a slight nod in recognition of Baxter's words. I'm patently against stepping on anyone's toes. Yeah. He chuckled to himself. It seemed like there was some extra meaning hidden there in his words, and you noticed that Cove raised an eyebrow, picking up on that too. Very flirtatious young man. Baxter stood up straighter, striking a slight pose with the position of his feet. He began to speak, but suddenly stopped and closed his mouth. He became absorbed in his own thoughts, tapping a finger to the side of his chin as he stared at you. You shot Cove a confused glance. He shrugged in response. After a few moments, Baxter had that same smile curl from before. He removed the finger from his face and used it to point directly at you. We've met before. Hey, he remembered! He did remember.
What?
When? Baxter continued to smile widely, his head tilted slightly to the side and he studied your visage. It's embarrassing, but I haven't remembered that part yet. He laughed cordially while Cove stared at him in disbelief. Baxter chuckled further, mirth growing on what must have been a very amusing situation in his mind. I'm getting there. Don't tell me. I know you want to, but do not. It'll come to me. He continued looking you up and down, hand back over his chin while he racked his brain for an answer. Wow, he's just going on here. Hang on. And then, recognition appeared in his eyes. Wow, that face. This is a face right here. Jeez. With a snap of his fingers, he announced his revelation as though he had forgotten his own birthday. The Cypress, at the summer soiree, of course. Turning away from you, Baxter began rambling to himself about the details. I wonder if you could meet him with Cove. I doubt Cove would be the type that you would go and... Well, maybe this type of Cove would have. Maybe we could have went and crashed the party with Cove. But Derek specifically wanted to go look around. Cove wouldn't need to do that, so I don't know. That had to have been before any regionals. So the time was I was about 14 years old. So he's like a year older than us then. And that makes it 5 years ago from now, right? Cove's mouth fell open. Are you kidding me? Is he serious? Did you really meet this guy at that country club party 5 years ago? If it helps, you were with another person when we spoke. Green eyes, short hair. Short generally. With a cute bow tie, I believe. Oh my god. He was checking out Derek, too. Oh, so you and Derek... Derek, that was his name. Cove's like, you went to a part of the party with Derek? We must have told him that. He didn't remember at all. Yeah, I think I did. You were shocked, but yes, you did meet him once at the Cypress. There were no words. If it did happen, then how do you remember that? Whoa, that's right. Whoa, that's right. Really? He nodded. It took his explanation to get it, but the memory of the guy you and Derek chatted with was coming back to you. Cove's eyes darted between you and Baxter again. The instigator of this discussion lightly gestured with his hands in response. It's good not to forget a face. Cove, remember when I told you about the crazy story about Derek and I accidentally crashing another group's party one time? Yeah. That's what he's talking about. You really helped us out back then, Baxter. It's unbelievable we're meeting again. Did you succeed in sneaking in... Oh, did you succeed in sneaking into our soiree? We'll have to tell Derek later. I did. Thank you for asking. Huh? Why were you there? You see, my parents are members of the Cypress. I happened to be in that particular location for an event related to my dance circuit. That was the chosen venue because they already had experience with the business in other branches.
To be honest.
Funnily enough, the entire reason they joined was for the connections they could make with other members there. Looks like that perk has finally hit it for me, too. Originally, I thought it was only good since I could occasionally dance there. Baxter suddenly stopped and stood up straighter. He grinned. Dance? Oh yes, that's what I was going to say. I'm a ballroom dancer, hence the phrasing earlier. Oh, I don't know much about dancing, but that's pretty cool. It's not hard once you get the basics down. Cove didn't look convinced at all. Baxter took that as a cue to keep talking.
Well.
He grinned in a way that was rapidly becoming familiar to you. If either of you are ever looking for a partner, I'm available. Cove frowned at the overt forwardness. Thanks. I'll pass, I think. I'll take you up on that offer sometime. I'd rather not. I could probably show you some moves.
Excellent.
Oh, you can. I'll look forward to that. Okay, yeah, no. She would not actually say that. I'd rather not. Baxter nodded understandingly and let the subject go. After that, there was a lull in conversation, and Cove attempted to fill it.
So...
What made you decide on Sunset Burton? Oh, yes. Well, my parents rented a condo, so I had a place to stay while I'm off for a semester from college and not living in the dorms. There was a playful glint in Baxter's eyes as he continued. Wait, semesters? So for me, semesters were spring and fall. Unless this is like one of those schools where you give a summer semester too, and he's off. Because he's not staying through the fall or the spring, he's just here during the summer. There was a playful glint in Baxter's eyes as he continued.
Honestly.
Ideally, they wanted to send me somewhere that wasn't too exciting. But lucky for me, they picked the wrong street, considering the two of you live here. Cove was practically reeling over how Baxter found a way to fit comments like that into every single topic thus far. Why do you keep doing that? You don't know us, but you talk like you already do. Cove spoke firm yet genuinely confused, and Baxter smiled cautiously. I don't feel the need to keep words of praise to myself, and when I say something, I mean it.
See?
Plus, what's the point of spending my off semester alone? The best part of being somewhere new is getting to interact with new people. Is it, though? You say all this stuff, but... Baxter. And honestly, the first person who's acknowledged you're attractive and intriguing people? Am I honestly the first person who's acknowledged you're attractive and intriguing people? True, you're hidden away in a tiny tourist trap, but still. Baxter crossed his arms. After studying your faces a few more seconds, he decided to continue. Am I only trying to score a hookup or get a romantic fling started by saying those things? No, that isn't the point of speaking well of others. I was raised better than that. Better than that. Wow, he doesn't even say that. He strip says it. Though, would I be fussed if that's what my words led to? Also no. I am flexible, not a surprise. I can back off on the line. With the lines if you don't like the attention, but I would like to be friends if we can. Cove wasn't sure how to respond. He glanced at you and he continued to look at your face when he spoke. Thanks for answering. I don't think I'm interested in that. Maybe not the friend thing, but the other part. It doesn't bother me. I'd appreciate if you didn't do that with me. I'm finding it pretty entertaining. You probably annoy a lot of people. You stood there. I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that with me. I'll keep it in check. Glad we're working things out. Shifting his weight to the other foot, Baxter tried to move forward.
So?
Since you were both already out here, did my arrival interrupt anything? Definitely not. You smiled and silently agreed. You laughed in a conspiratorial way. You looked away nervously. You told Baxter you were both waiting to see who was going to move in. All we were doing is waiting for you to finally show up. Baxter laughed at that, immensely pleased with your response. I'm getting a reputation in this town already. Not bad. Well, if either of you are free, I'd be thrilled to hang out this summer. But we can save the schedule talk for later. I should get my things inside. He gave a small nod of the head and flashed you both a dazzling smile.
Goodbye.
Bye. Cove gave a small wave as well. Bye. Baxter then turned on his heels and strolled back to his suitcase, picking it up and bringing it inside his condo. You and Cove were silent as Baxter unlocked the door and disappeared inside the house. With him completely out of the scene, Cove let out a long breath.
Well...
I don't know how I'm going to explain that guy to my dad. You burst into a fit of laughter trying to imagine the conversation. At least the job is done. We saw the new neighbor, and now we can go meet up with Terry and Miranda. Yeah, we should get going. You gave Baxter's condo one last glance over your shoulder. Choose your feelings towards Baxter. Guess how she feels about Baxter. If you choose to be indifferent towards Baxter, you won't be able to access any of the Baxter DLC content for this save file, and scenes will play out as they do in the base game. You can still get along with Baxter unindifferent. Oh! Shoot. Really? Because I want certain scenes with Baxter. I want to include Baxter in a couple of moments, because he is entertaining at the very least. So I guess we're fond. And probably nervous or relaxed? Or is she just direct with Baxter? Probably relaxed. Nah, nervous. We'll say nervous fond. I don't think she would be very, like, excited about Baxter. He's a little too much for Marina, for the kind of person he is not her kind of people at all. But fond, I have to do fond, otherwise I would do indifferent, but I want to include him in some stuff, so we're ready. Nervous fondness, yes. You were looking forward to, you thought he was charming, you didn't think too much of it, you weren't sure how to feel, you thought he gave a pretty bad first impression. You actually experienced it firsthand, but you were finding the last several minutes of your life hard to believe. You couldn't imagine what this summer was going to be like with Baxter here, and you weren't sure how much you wanted to actually see him again. Let's think about that for a second. We're not any of these. Maybe you weren't sure how to feel. Yeah, you know, honestly, you didn't know if you'd ever come to a conclusion about him. Baxter was just so different. Turning your attention back to Cove, you pushed all the thoughts of Baxter aside. You both started making your way towards town. After a while later, you and Cove reached the main street in town. All of a sudden, you stopped walking.